girl. Are you ready to talk about the power of female sex?
I absolutely am.
I love this episode so much. But I also find it very controversial watching it back in 2025.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's why I'm so excited to talk about it. Because going through the breakthrough, I was like, wow, there's a lot of interesting opinions.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. 1998 opinions.
Yes, very 1998 opinions. And so I'm so excited to get into it. Welcome back, everyone. This is the Say in the City podcast, where I'm chatting with various guests about every fabulous episode of Sex in the City, really bringing a lot of perspectives to the highs, lows, everything in between. So grab a Cosmopolitan or some champagne or cider.
Cheers.
Cheers. Get comfortable and let's deep dive into the world of Carrie, Charlotte, Samantha, and Miranda, one episode at a time. As always, I am your host, Ciance, but you can call me Say. My guest today is the brilliant and creative Ash. Thank you so much for being here. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me here. I love Sex and the City, I have to say. I've been watching it for a long time. My name is Ash. Samantha and I met at a marketing boot camp as teachers while I was a TA. And we just hit it off. You know, the class would end at 10 p.m. and we would just chat until midnight every single time. And a lot of our chat ended up going back to Sex and the City.
Yeah.
So, or our Sex and the City adventures.
Yeah, exactly. Our own adventures. Yes.
So it was a great time. And being asked to be on this podcast made me think about my history of Sex and the City. You know, you start off, for me, I was really young when it came out, and it was something that I just thought this life that they were living was so amazing, but that would never happen to me.
Yeah.
And then by your mid-20s, you're going to cocktail bars, you're replicating what they're doing, you're loving it, you're having your own Sex and the City girl nights, friend nights, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I moved to London, was this massive thing for me. And all of a sudden I was living Sex and the City. I was actually doing things. And now rewatching the episodes, I realized, oh, I've done that. Oh, wow. That happened to me.
I love that.
So now I'm just like the old lady beyond it.
Well, and now we're going to have to make sure that I have you on the Abigail Bronstein episode.
Oh,
yes. I love that. Okay. So before we start talking about the episode itself, are you a Carrie, a Charlotte, a Miranda, or a Samantha?
It's a hard question to answer because I feel like they're a caricature of a little bit of all of us. We all have a little bit of each one within us. And so there are certain times in my life, when I was much younger, when it came out, I was probably more, I hate to admit it, but I was probably a bit more of a Charlotte just because I hadn't had that many experiences. And so I was just maybe a little more prudish or, not really knowing what to do.
Yeah.
And then as I got older and we're doing our Sex and the City nights, I really wanted to be Samantha because in my eyes, she was confident, she's sex confident, she's body positive, she's just loving her life. Yeah. But I do feel like I was definitely more of a Carrie. Yeah. And then getting older, I feel like I've fallen into Miranda a bit. Yeah. So although I don't have the child, so no kids.
Exactly. Without the child. Yeah. Which I love, because I started off as Miranda and then eventually became more of a Carrie. And now, the older you get, the more you do connect with Samantha a bit more. You just kind of stop giving a shit.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to body image, hopefully, right? And a bit more sex positivity. Even if you're in a relationship, you find yourself much more open to things. I think you start to experiment just out of sheer boredom.
what else are we going to do?
Exactly. You're let's try it, right? Let's see. I love that. Okay, so today we are talking about the 5th episode of season 1 called The Power of Female Sex. It was directed by the returning Susan Seidelman, who also directed the pilot episode. But Genji Cohen did the story for this episode. So are you a fan of Genji Cohen outside of Sex and the City?
You know, I did watch Weeds for a really long time when it first came out.
Weeds,
so a long time ago.
Early seasons of Weeds was good.
I binge watched it. So it was after it had aired, but it was still a long time ago. And
I mean, I think I watched it on Netflix via discs.
Oh, you did?
I think
you
so.
Did.
Yeah.
I was trying to think, like, how did I start watching it? And I think because I was in a relationship with someone who had a subscription to Showtime, and so I was able to watch it on Showtime.
Like, who was a drug dealer?
Who sold weed, and I was actually her. No. And so I used to binge watch it when they weren't home, and I went through a bunch of seasons, and then I just never finished it because the relationship ended, and I never got the subscription again. I don't even know if it was a subscription before, or if it was just like an extra channel you had on your TV. Can't remember.
I mean, you had to subscribe. Yeah, it was like a premium channel.
It was a premium channel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like subscription the way that we think of like Netflix, but yeah, it was definitely like an upgrade or whatever. Yeah.
I didn't have the upgrade, and I don't have the upgrade. I tried to go back and watch it, not that long ago, and I'm like, time and place. I'm beyond it.
Absolutely. Well, and like I said, like the first few seasons of Weeds are good. The first season's amazing.
The first
second season, you get a little bit like third season, and then after that, I just feel like you're like
it's done.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening here?
Yeah. I mean, the premise itself is a little bit difficult to sustain for a long period of time. But I also, the other day, I was watching, I think, like a movie that had the Little Houses on the Court, the theme song. And I was like, where have I heard this before? It was so weird. And then I was like, and I had flashbacks to watching Weeds. I was like, oh, that's where it's from.
It's incredible because it's an old song. It's an old song. It always reminds you of Weeds every time. And I'm like, cul-de-sac, suburbia.
Yeah. Well, and because, again, right, like when you're watching it, either binge watching it on, especially before they had like skip intro, or if you were watching it for the first time, like via DVD, like I was, like you had to watch the intro. And so I had to watch the theme song. So yeah, it's always in my mind. So do you ever watch like Orange is the New Black?
I tried. I mean, I've heard great things about it.
Yeah.
And I think just in the moment when I started watching the first season, I just was like into other things. And so I didn't finish the first season. I recognized it was a good show. Okay. Yeah, like I recognized it was a good show, but at the time I was just, let's be honest, I was partying a lot. And so I didn't have the attention span to watch a full season of TV.
Yeah.
I should pick it up now, actually.
You should try it.
I've heard it's an incredible show.
Yeah, it is really good. And I love that. Yeah. I mean, when it first came out, it was like, I'm either watching reality TV or something in the background because, we're getting ready to go out, or, our attention span is very low.
Are you a fan?
I love Orange is the New Black. I love Weeds. She also did a lot of work with like Gilmore Girls, which I can only watch up to a certain point, and then I have to stop watching it. And Mad About You. I love Mad About You.
Oh, Mad About You.
Yeah, she did a lot of writing for Mad About You also. And Genji Cohen is just like one of those people, you look at her and you're like, I want to be friends with you. I don't know what it is, but I definitely want to be friends with you.
Well, if she's listening to the podcast right now,
we want to be friends with you. Yeah. Okay, so we opened the episode with Carrie telling us that the, quote, most powerful woman in New York is not Tina Brown, Diane Sawyer, or even Rosie O'Donnell. It's the hostess at Balzac. Now, this is a very late 80s list of powerful New York women. Who do you think would be on the list today?
Yeah, I had an interesting, I really had to think deep about this because in my head, I'm thinking, okay, you're in New York and it's someone that like everyone knows who it is. And it's a powerful woman. So in my head, I think AOC right away.
Oh,
because if she walked in, you're giving her that table right away. And then I was like, okay, I'm not like a huge fan, but the other person I was thinking that everyone knows who she is. She has a iconic style. The moment you see that look, you're just like, I know who this is Anna Wintour.
Absolutely.
But then the third one I had trouble with because I was actually trying to think of what the modern day Rosie O'Donnell is. And I could not think of any person that actually fits her.
Yeah.
And so I was having a hard time with this. And then I thought, well, I mean, obviously Beyonce could just get a table.
Yes. Anywhere she goes. Yes.
And I hate to say it, I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, but she does live in New York, so she might be walking into that restaurant, and I guess
Does
like she
she?
would get a table.
Okay.
So
I mean, I guess, yeah. Like, if you're famous, you have a house in New York. You have like an apartment or something. So I guess it makes sense. I have no idea where she would live. I'm definitely not a Taylor Swift
well,
fan.
where does Beyonce live?
Well, Beyonce has, I mean, their house ever since Lemonade is like, Homestead is in Houston
Okay.
because she had to get Jay-Z away from the Beckys with the good hair. But I mean, they definitely still have like an apartment and everything in New York. So yeah, that makes sense.
She could walk in, and the moment, no matter who you are, it's like
Oh,
I can't even
exactly.
talk. Here, you
Yeah.
take the table, take it.
Yeah. But definitely Anna Wintour. And I mean, she's stepping down from Vogue. This year she announced it,
Oh,
which is insane.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Um, but also, like, so did Grace Coddington, and Grace Coddington still works with them a lot. But definitely Anna Wintour. I love that AOC idea. But because really, like, thinking about who would be the equivalent of Rosie O'Donnell, maybe like Sarah Jessica Parker, I think would also be on the list.
Oh yeah, oh absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
You're right. She could.
Yeah,
She
because they
could.
can literally shut down New York and to film and just like that.
To
So,
do one tiny little section of an episode.
yeah. But it's funny because like everyone on the list there is like either journalism
Mhm.
or TV personality. And so I think like this day and age, AOC, I like being on the list because you hope that a politician would actually like be at least popular enough and well known enough to like be able to walk into a restaurant and just get a table. But yeah, I can't think of who.
Like a journalist. I was actually trying to think of a journalist in New York. Like if we're talking Silicon Valley, I would say Kara Swisher would be the one that you would recognize if you lived there, probably,
Yeah.
and like let her in. But I couldn't think of like one that would be big enough, like a Diane Sawyer or
Yeah, or like a Tina Brown. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I think like definitely Anna Wintour. Maybe like Whoopi Goldberg
oh, Whoopi
with
Goldberg.
The View.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
that still films in New York. Because I don't think any of the talk shows now are filming in New York that I could think of. That's why I'm like, okay, maybe Sarah Jessica Parker. Or like those women, right? Like
Yeah,
Kristen Davis, Cynthia Nixon. Cynthia Nixon is also involved in politics.
Oh, that's true. It's funny because I didn't even think about thinking of the actors who actually play these characters.
Yeah.
in Sex and the City, because I'm like, well, we can't add them.
Like, yeah. I mean, you could argue Carrie Bradshaw could possibly be on the list. You could also think like, you know, the additional like, you know, Gloria Steinem, some of like the big writers who are still alive. But yeah, it's a difficult list to think of now. Like I think we could have thought a few years back and been like, oh, any of the Real Housewives.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Be on the list.
I know. Would it be reality TV? But is that who would be on the list?
Exactly. Yeah. And then is that just sad? Because when you think about it, like how many of them are actually allowed in these restaurants anymore?
Exactly.
But speaking of Balzac, this is a fictional restaurant that is apparently so popular that even during the day, Samantha and Carrie can't get a table. So while they wait, they get the first official appearance of the Cosmopolitan. Now, do you like Cosmopolitans?
I actually don't. It's so funny because this is such a 90s drink.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to love it because of watching Sex and the City.
Absolutely.
And so I went to a bar when I was like 21 and ordered it and thought it was just going to be this incredible drink. And little did I know, it's just vodka, cranberry, orange liqueur, some lime. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I thought it was going to be sweet, maybe.
Yeah.
And now I feel like maybe it's a college kid drink.
Or maybe it's just like not sweet enough. It's either not sweet enough or it's too sweet. Like I have
had a sweet one. No, you're right, because I have had a sweet one before.
Yeah.
Is that from the orange liqueur then? What brings the sweetness? Because it wouldn't be the cranberry.
It would be either the orange liqueur or possibly even like the kind of vodka they're using.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Yeah. Some people like if you get like a winter white Cosmo, for instance, That's
Never
like
had
very
that
sweet.
before. What is that?
It's that bonefish, and it's like I can't remember everything that's in it, but it's definitely more sweet. They serve it around the holiday season.
Mm. Oh,
And
but
so
it's sweet though. I don't like sweet stuff anyway.
exactly, yeah. So I'm not the biggest fan of sweet things. I mean, it reminds me of like trying to get into martinis, but I hate olives. Like I hate
Oh, then you
olives
can't get into martinis.
at all. Like at all.
Just give me a glass of vodka. Thank you.
I mean, literally, I was like, how can I make this taste good? There's no possible way to make it taste good.
No,
Just give me
no.
a glass of vodka.
I love olives though, so I'm like, make it dirty, extra, extra
See,
dirty.
I used to think that like doing that, I have no idea. And so every time I would like try to be like classy and order a martini, I'd be like, just like trying to get it through it.
It looks so good though.
I mean, yeah, they look great, right? Just like holding on to a nice martini glass. Yeah.
Also, the shaken, not stirred thing, because that's a martini, right?
Yeah. James Bond, yeah.
I don't think I've ever. I mean, I understand what shaken and stirred is, but how does that
we know
change
what
the
it is.
consistency of the actual drink?
Well, I think that the only thing that it does is the coolness of it.
You think it would
If
warm
you
it up
shake
by
it-
shaking it?
No, I think if you shake it, it gets colder.
Oh, because you
Versus
ice in
stirring
there.
it, yeah.
Ah, okay.
I think. I have no idea.
I have sensitive teeth.
I'm not a
so I might
bartender.
ask to get it stirred
Yeah.
next time. Next time I
Exactly.
order a martini.
Yes.
I should order one tonight.
You should. I love that. Okay, so according to Samantha, they've been waiting for 45 minutes. After almost having a very Karen moment, Sam decides to leave. As they're leaving, Samantha says, "Do you realize if she were a man, not only would we be eating right now, but they'd be sending over free drinks?" So I imagine this happens more often in New York, but have you experienced more of like the 45-minute wait or the free drinks from the host?
You know, I was thinking about this. I don't like waiting anymore. So I just
100%.
make reservations. And if it's a new restaurant and they don't take reservations, I just don't go.
Yeah.
Except for if I'm on vacation. Like if I'm on vacation, I got nothing to do.
Yeah.
There's no rush, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Then I'll definitely wait 45, an hour and a half, as long as there's a bar and I could sit in the bar.
Yeah.
And they're at a bar.
They're at the bar, yeah.
I have though, so it hasn't happened at a restaurant, but I have before had like the extra treatment where at a very, very, very exclusive nightclub in Berlin, I was allowed to go in through the side door, and I think it's because they accidentally thought I was a celebrity.
Okay.
But it's Berkheim in Berlin, and it is very difficult to get into this nightclub. And there are queues like outside, and it was December, and it was cold, and I forgot my pants, so I was just wearing a gold top and some black cowboy boots, and that was it.
Okay.
And I had my short blonde hair, my bleach hair.
My pants.
And my friend had told me it's so hard to get in this club. Like, there's rules that, like everyone whispers the rules, like do not talk in line, don't go in big groups, definitely do not be part of a bachelorette or a bachelor party. Like you don't act like you kind of have like potentially been partying for 24 hours already and your makeup's a little smeared and you're a little high and you're just like, you don't, basically if anything weird happens inside, you're not going to tell anyone.
Yeah.
And so I'm having the rules go through my head and we're not talking. I'm just standing there and I'm a tall lady and these boots make me extra tall. Well, there's one downstairs, I think. So, well, it's a gay club downstairs. There's a lot of sex happening in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sex happening in there.
Club.
Yeah. There's a lot of sex happening like in front of you that you get to watch. So it's one of those kind of clubs.
Okay.
And I was standing there and all of a sudden the side door opens and the guy points at me and calls me over and I'm like, me?
Yeah.
And he's like, and so I walk over there with my friend and the guy starts to like take our stuff and he's speaking German and I don't know what he's saying. So I'm just like, yeah, cool. Yeah. German, you do this. Two, you can't, don't do this. Otherwise, American, get out of here. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you can see that they were a little confused and they were just like, and then they just scooted us in and I'm like, oh, I think they thought I was someone else, like a celebrity that was doing an act. And then they're like, we let in the wrong person. Just let us slide in. ever since then, I tell this story because in London, a lot of people go to Berlin to party and they all want to go to this club. And so I'll randomly tell the story to people and they go, there's a side door. How did you get into the side door? And I'm like, I don't know. And it was my first time.
Yeah.
So that was my one moment, my claim to fame.
Yes.
And then inside of the club, I sat there and watched two hot guys have sex. It was great.
I love that. Yeah.
Did some dancing, you know? Yeah.
I love that because one, that's a story that like, how many other people can tell that story, right?
Apparently not a lot.
Yeah, people are like, wait, I've been there multiple times. There's a side door. I would be so mad at you. I'd be like, are you fucking kidding? You're telling me now?
Yeah, there are some pissed off people. Let me tell you, there's some friends I have that go every year, every single year. And they're like, idea. I've been turned away at the door half the time.
Yeah.
The other half of the time, I had to learn these damn rules to get in.
Right, I know.
And you just got pulled into the side door.
Like, we don't have any Studio 54
here. We don't.
In just America in general, in the US.
Is there one in LA?
I mean, I can't think of anywhere where it's definitely like, oh, like you have to have the secret password, you have to know the rules. I mean, possibly in New York. I would say more like after hour places are a little bit more like that. Not just like, oh, we're going like regular peak hours kind of thing. And there are rules and you need to make sure.
You need to make sure you follow them. Yeah. And in 40 years from now, people will still be talking about that nightclub. Yeah. You know, just like Studio 54. You're right. Yeah. I can't think of any in America that are that way.
Yeah. I mean, especially not here in Denver.
You just made me laugh. No, none here. None here. No. Maybe one day. I don't know. Maybe Denver will be the next New York.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Well, and I can't think of anywhere where you just go in and, oh, like, here's a free drink. Yeah. Like, definitely get reservations. We're adults.
Get reservations.
I can understand somewhere, that's like new. Oh, we don't do reservations. So yeah, I would just not go. I'm an adult. I can go somewhere else.
Do they get a free drink in the episode?
No.
They don't.
But right? Samantha does get a lot of free drinks. She usually sleeps with the bartenders. Yeah.
There's a reason. I have had free drinks. Not because I slept with the bartender, but because my friend slept with the bartender.
Yeah.
Lip gloss. Yeah, that we used to go to in Denver.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of the things that we connected over was lip gloss in Denver.
Exactly. Yeah. And, one of the few times that I'm like, oh my God. So we knew each other, but we probably never actually talked.
We saw each other. We're behind each other in photos, but we never actually talked.
Exactly. Yeah. I need to go look through Razor's photos and see if any of you have me in the background or any of me.
Gotta have it. It's all because back then we were using disposable cameras still. I think no, maybe I did have a digital. It's a tiny little pocket camera. We did have digital back then. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
Who knows where it is? I've lost like half photos.
I mean, yeah, we have to look on Facebook.
I know.
Remember we used to do full albums.
I was about to say it doesn't exist anymore. In my heart, it doesn't exist. Full albums where you didn't even edit the photos. Exactly. You just put the whole roll up on there. Oh, horrible. Absolutely
sweaty,
horrible. Yeah.
Flashed. Yeah. So funny. Okay,
good
so after lunch, Carrie goes shopping at Dolce & Gabbana where she chooses these silver puff sandals. What do you think about these sandals?
You know, it's so funny because I look at them and I go, Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion.
Yes,
absolutely. Just like the feathers. I mean, it's incredible. And then I think like, I love those shoes. I love that she picked those shoes. I love that she's wearing them in New York, which is dirty, by the way. Can we address the fact that she's constantly wearing these designer expensive heels on dirty streets?
Yeah.
So that's another topic. So I love them, but I wouldn't pay Dolce & Gabbana prices for those heels. I would buy them in like the bargain bin, but absolutely. And I'd wear them. I'd wear them around the apartment. I'd make them my bed heels, but I don't.
Your bed heels. Yeah. I mean, because the funny thing about it is she does wear a very similar looking pair later on in the series. And they're literally to get burger excited. Remember that?
No,
They
I don't
they
remember
the
those
little
heels
furry,
in it.
they're like the red ones that she just puts on.
Bed heels.
She's like, "Aren't these sexy?" So yeah, I mean, because the style itself is very not conducive to city living. Like, I wouldn't even wear those on Denver streets.
No.
So yeah, I mean, that is funny, but they're so 90s.
They're so 90s, so late 90s, early
Yeah.
2000s. Like it's early. It reminds me also of the early 2000s, around the time when Britney Spears was wearing the very, very, very low
Very
hip
low. Very
pants
low.
with like her G-string showing.
Yeah.
And like that is right around the time.
And then like a halter top.
And the
Yeah.
halter top, yeah. Time and place was amazing.
I know.
What was that one store that used to sell stuff like this at Frederick's at Hollywood?
Oh, yeah.
Because then it got to the point where this is no longer designer and it's being sold at Frederick's of Hollywood as like, this is how you entice your man.
Exactly.
Just like Carrie thought.
Exactly. Yeah, like literally. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Carrie goes to buy the sandals. Her credit card gets declined. But that's when we meet Amalita Amalfi. Now, we'll talk about her specifically a little bit later, but her appearance prompts Carrie to ask, where is the line between professional girlfriend and just plain professional? This brings us to poker night with Carrie, Samantha, Miranda, and Charlotte. They discuss sex and power between men and women. While they don't actually address Amalita's kind of sex and power in this discussion, which again we'll get to later, they do bring up the role exploitation takes in all of this. Samantha basically says to use every means you have at your disposal to achieve power, even if that means sleeping your way to the top. She says this is the exploitation of men and that men and women are equal opportunity exploiters. We're also introduced to Neville Morgan, a reclusive artist who invites Charlotte to his farm upstate to see his latest work. She asks what she should do if he wants her to do something sexual with him. Miranda says that she'll help Charlotte sue the hell out of him, and Samantha responds, "I can't believe what I'm hearing. You're like the Harvard Law Lorena Bobbitt." So she's basically implying that it's castration to sue a man for sexual harassment. What are your thoughts on Samantha's point of view throughout this discussion?
This is a hard one because this is obviously before like the Me Too movement. It's even before social media where you're online and you're hearing different people's points of view. You know, this is during a time that you're only hearing the point of view of the mainstream media. And so it's hard to hear, especially the Lorena Bobbitt reference, because she was a joke after that incident all throughout the 90s. Yes. Comedians loved bringing her in, loved like writing her in their acts. And at the end of the day, you end up finding out that she was a woman who was physically, sexually, psychologically abused by her husband. And it was so bad, he had just raped her. And she decided to, do what she did. And it's really awful because she was a victim. She lived through a horrible circumstance. And instead of people talking about that, they just made her a joke. And so I almost couldn't even think about what they were talking about because I'm just like, I can't believe they're bringing up Lorena Bobbitt this way as a joke again. And then it's reminding me that even in modern day, I can't remember what song it is, but I was listening to a song not that long ago, and it mentions Lorena Bobbitt. I'm like, they're still mentioning her in songs. So
well, and not only that, like they made him the victim.
Yes, they made
so
him
much so
the
that
victim.
they made him a celebrity. He became a porn star.
What? Really?
Yeah, because they attached it back, and then he became a porn star.
Oh, that's horrible.
And became like a minor reality TV celebrity. Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay, that's even worse. Yeah.
And so, like, luckily, we're gonna have to find this on that reference to her because, there has been a resurgence of discussion about the treatment of Lorena Bobbitt and Monica Lewinsky and just like all of these women who were treated horribly in the 90s. And we're now like, was that okay?
No. But then it's scary because, politically, I know this isn't a political podcast, but it is scary right now because we're starting to revert back to where there's certain people with power who want to make jokes like that and want us
Yeah.
to move back to that time. And no, let's not.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, the horrific circumstances that she had to go through. And I still can't believe that they made him a porn star. Oh.
Yeah. Well, and I think like one of the biggest things that bugs me, and I think should have bugged people even in 1998, but let's face it, is this idea of equal opportunity exploiters. And especially when it comes to like the workplace, right? Because again, like you said, this was before Me Too. And this was also in an era where people were like, oh, yay, feminism is done. We don't need it anymore. We're all equal now.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, women were still being sexually harassed in the workplace on a daily basis. And it's just like, and then I can't imagine having to deal with that every day and then watching your favorite show and having that be the point of view of Samantha's many people's favorite character.
Yes.
And having that be the point of view of your favorite character and be like, okay, I know that I am not equal in this relationship where I'm being sexually harassed or forced to do things, but do I have to feel like I am?
Yeah, well, it was a weird time and place where, as a woman, in your head, a lot of women knew this is wrong and this shouldn't be happening. But also in your head, you're saying it's always been this way. And if I stand up, I'm going to lose my job.
Yeah.
Or if I say anything, then I have to worry about my counterparts not, supporting me. And where now I feel like, at least me personally, in recent years, I would feel very comfortable talking to, making it a talking point. I mean, I shouldn't say very comfortable. It's a very uncomfortable situation to be with in the beginning.
Yeah.
But I would feel more open to talking about it. I mean, I worked at a place where someone did go to HR about sexual harassment, and they were told, I don't know what you're talking about. Kind of like you shouldn't. That's not really sexual harassment. It's like no,
Yeah.
it is though. And then that was back, that was a long time ago, and now it's thought of differently. But it's uncomfortable. I do appreciate though that they're talking about this topic that at the time and even now, people have mixed opinions about it, mixed views, and so each character has their own opinion about it.
Yeah.
And obviously Miranda has a much different opinion than Samantha. And so I'm glad that they're showing the multiple opinions of it.
Well, and I was thinking about this, kind of writing this prompt, because usually it's like Miranda and Samantha versus Charlotte. And then Carrie's just like the neutral one. Here, it's like Miranda and Charlotte are actually on the same side of the argument for once. It is like wild to see. But this is actually like the beginning of my hatred for Wendy Williams. Years ago, it was probably like 12 years ago, she was speaking at Auraria campus when I was in college. And she said to the women in the audience, don't sleep your way to the top. And it's always, and this is kind of like what this reminds me of, it's always on the woman.
Yeah, exactly.
Never on the man.
Yeah.
And so that's why like it bugs me that Samantha's like, oh, like, no, you're totally in equal position in the workplace when you're using it to gain power. It's like, well, but who has the power to begin with?
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. I know. It's a tricky one.
Yeah, exactly. So that night, Carrie is in bed when Amalita calls from Balzac. She tells Carrie there's someone she should meet. And Carrie is apparently able to just hop out of bed to put on a fabulous outfit that includes the new Dolces. Are you able to get ready this quickly?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. First of all, by that point in time, I have my contacts out. And my contacts are sitting on a solution that has to be in there for 5 hours. I'm like, okay, am I wearing my horrible glasses that I can't even see? I mean, they're ball caps. And so that's already a whole conversation in my head happening, let alone then like have to wash off the night cream because you have to put on your makeup. And then you have to, I want to know how close she lives to the restaurant. Like maybe if it's just around the corner, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Then she can make it work. But if it's at New York, and you're having to like wait to get a taxi or you never see them get on the train though. They're always getting a taxi.
Exactly. Yeah. They're not getting on the train.
It's going to take a while.
Exactly.
And apparently they're still just saying they're having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. And not like, I feel like Amalita's already a little bit tipsy. And then Carrie arrives and she's still that little bit tipsy. So I'm like, okay, so it took Carrie like 5 minutes to get there.
How long does it take you? Should I even ask?
Oh my God. To get to where Carrie is from just in bed, probably a good hour and a half at the least.
Yeah, and by an hour and a half, Amelie's feeling good. You're thinking about the next place you're going to go to. Also, It seems like they're getting dinner.
Yeah.
It seems like it's not just drinks, so they've been waiting there like an hour and a half minimum.
Exactly. Yeah. And I guess you never know. Like maybe they ate and then, but still they've been there for a long time.
Yeah, I don't like pre-iron my clothes. She seems like she's wearing a silk dress, and that stuff wrinkles.
Exactly.
And so, she was just able to grab. She did put a big coat over it though, but there's no wrinkles. It's pretty. It looks pretty nice.
She was able to steam that shit. Yeah,
quickly. Did they even steam back then? I guess you would have had to. I'm an old school ironing board and like iron person.
Yeah, I love how we're like, oh, back in the day, back in the oldie tiny days when there was no electricity, were they able to steam?
I was just thinking, like, I guess I never knew of personal steamers until the last 5 years, and maybe that's just me.
I think so. Well, yeah, personal steamers like handheld. No.
Yeah, like the handheld.
They would have to be like one of the like
industrial.
Ones. Yeah, but I would imagine if you have dolching up on shoes, you have some way to straighten out, like, because you're not ironing that dress.
You're not ironing that dress, no. Absolutely not.
Oh, that's so weird. Now we look totally different.
What happened?
Exactly. So the audio just cut out randomly for no reason as it was recording. And so obviously I had no idea until I went to edit everything. And I was like, okay, there's no sound. So we're just going to continue as if nothing happened. So Amalita introduces Carrie to the French architect Gilles. He's really quite stunning. They make a date for the next day so she can show him New York. What do you think about Gilles?
Oh, Gilles is so handsome.
He's gorgeous.
He's a gorgeous man. Yeah. He's sweet too, which is so nice.
Yeah.
He seems to care about what she has to say. He takes her on this really romantic date. I don't know, maybe she's taking him on the romantic date, but the scene of them like running through the park and there's
the cherry blossoms.
Yes.
I love the cherry blossoms.
That's like the fantasy that so many people have.
It is such a fantasy, yeah.
And he has a hot accent too. So,
yeah, exactly.
Can't go
French
wrong with it.
And traveling to Brazil, wants to take her to Paris.
He wants to just have like a good old-fashioned time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I like how you bring up that he is like interested in what she has to say. He like asks her specifically, like, oh, what does that mean? Like asking follow-up questions. A man asking follow-up questions and actually listening.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Maybe it's French.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Maybe it's just like a French thing. I do also find it hilarious that like no one in this episode has their natural accent. Like the woman playing Amalita is definitely American.
Oh, she is.
She is definitely American. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So yeah, speaking of, we get that montage of Carrie's date with Gilles, complete with the laughter, the long kiss. And so Carrie is wearing a Rifat Ozbek dress, her pink trench coat, and a boa as a scarf. What do you think about Carrie's outfit?
Oh, the boa. I just can't take my eyes off the boa. It's because this is 1998. So it's so, I think of it as like raver culture, like late 90s, early 2000s. Like
totally, yeah.
When people loved wearing those boas. And those specific boas that are thin.
Yeah.
Thin and stringy with
weird, thin, and you know it smells weird.
You know it. Yeah, Vicks Vapor Rub, maybe. Yeah, dusty. Yeah, maybe sweaty.
Definitely Vicks, because why wouldn't they be wearing the scarf while they have Vicks all over their chest?
Exactly. So it kind of like makes me wonder if the designer was inspired by rave culture, or if rave culture just kind of like the different like ravers wearing boas came after this. I'm not exactly sure.
Well, because like it reminds me definitely of like Romeo and Michelle.
Oh yes,
For
again.
sure, right? Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. And it also reminds me of that scene in Spice World.
Oh,
where they go to the club. So yeah, it is definitely like nightlife inspired. And yeah, I mean, nightlife kind of just shows up during the day, especially especially in the 90s. Like especially in the 90s and
especially
early
in
2000s.
New York.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, because you think about like the pleather, like I think of that, like Britney Spears.
Oh yes.
And like the crop tops and all of that. It's so funny. But yeah, I mean, I love this dress on her. It is so pretty.
And yeah, the dress is gorgeous.
Yeah. And that fucking boa. So they go back to the Stanhope, where they sleep together despite only knowing each other for the day. That brings us to the next morning when Gilles is leaving to catch his plane. He tells Carrie to order room service, which prompts Carrie to open up the envelope on the nightstand that contains $1,000 in cash. Miranda and Samantha go over to have breakfast, where they discuss the cash. They revisit a bit of what Samantha said earlier, but we actually bring more Amalita context here. So she says, money is power, sex is power, therefore getting money for sex is simply an exchange of power. Thoughts here outside of like the workplace, sexual harassment in the workplace?
I mean, it's an interesting one because it definitely, sex is power, money is power. For a very long time, at least like in history, women had to trade sex for power. You had to trade your body. You had to get married to someone who you didn't even know, didn't even love, weren't even interested in, because that's how your family and that's how you were going to like rise.
That was your value.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's only recently in history has shifted to where now we actually have the power. And so it is an interesting kind of conversation of, do we really have power when we do this? Or are we just playing their game?
Yeah, exactly. Is it actually empowering? Because it does like remind me of like so much of what everything was like before Me Too.
Yeah.
Right. People did really like not talk about, the amount of harassment that women go through on a daily basis. It really until like social media blew up, right? And people started being like, no, this is like me just walking to work, right? Being harassed on a daily basis, not having the safety even, right? To walk alone at night, like all of that, right? And that's still happening, despite the fact that like money is much more spread out now. So
especially now, just because of the it's horrible to say, but because of the Me Too movement and because of like more female empowerment, more like we're not going to stand for this anymore. Now the other side is saying, well, we're actually going to try to push you back into your spot. So we're in a very weird time in the world where, well, especially in this awful country right now, of women being kind of pushed back and it being okay for a man again to make horrible comments about women, to talk about abusing women. And it's odd because it's like, didn't we leave that behind?
Exactly.
Weren't we saying goodbye to that at all?
Yeah.
I'm ready for it to be over.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, back when America was great and women couldn't even have a bank account. They couldn't have a credit card. They
couldn't buy a car.
Yeah. They couldn't inherit.
Well, it was just the 60s or 70s, right? That women could get their own bank account or women could get a credit card, right? My grandma used to tell me that, like, Ashley, in the 50s, I had to marry your grandfather to get a house, to get a car. And even then, your grandfather would sometimes go out and buy cars without me knowing. And that's okay. Yeah. That is okay. And you're in a much better spot now because you can actually manage your own money.
You can actually advocate for yourself. Yeah, exactly. And so, That brings us to Miranda asking who Amalita Amalfi is. Worried Carrie's been recruited into a ring of high-class hookers with passports. This prompts Samantha to tell Carrie, sweetheart, men give, women receive. It's biological destiny. Miranda responds, hello, do you really want to be saying that? I mean, that's exactly the kind of argument men have been using since the dawn of time to exploit women. Carrie stops the conversation from going any further, which is probably a good thing. But what would your response be to Samantha?
I think Miranda said it really well.
Yeah.
She just laid it out. It's kind of an interesting statement for Samantha because we're in season 1 still where everyone's trying to understand the characters and their personalities and what they would do and what they wouldn't do. And I just feel like Samantha wouldn't be such a prude. Like when in thinking that only men give and only women receive without thinking that actually everyone can give and everyone can receive in their own way,
I mean, if anything, I would say women give much more than men.
Depending on the relationship, or like, a man can give and a man can receive. A woman can give and a woman can receive. A non-binary person can give and receive. And so it's just such a black and white kind of view. Yes. And I feel like, they're still trying to work out Samantha's character. And I feel like in the future, like in future seasons, she probably wouldn't have said that.
She would probably smack herself for saying that out loud. Yeah, I mean, it's, and, this is, again, it's such a weird season to rewatch and like really go back to and talk about because of the fact that you're like, Samantha would never say that. Mm. Why is she saying that following like this whole ordeal? Like Carrie had a great date. She had a great time. She didn't realize that it was transactional. Right?
Yeah.
And that's like, and Jill is so sweet, stunning, didn't think that he would be that kind of guy. Mm-hmm. Right? And then here's Samantha, just completely out of character. And this does come back to my theory that most of season 1, they're like, oh, we just need to plug in Samantha, Miranda, and Charlotte to these characters that were already being written. Because it was supposed to be like an anthology kind of thing, like Black Mirror, where Carrie's just like meeting random people and having these discussions with totally different characters. But Miranda, Samantha, and Charlotte became the core of her closest friends. And so they're like, Charlotte would say that for sure, but Carrie would not invite Charlotte to talk about this. No. So who has to say it? Oh, Samantha has to say it.
Yeah.
And luckily, like, Kim Cattrall can get away with anything. She's such a good actor.
Well, she says it with the perfect, like she's joking and she has perfect delivery and it's supposed to like be kind of shocking, but also it the way she delivers it is perfect for her character. Mm-hmm. And it's not even until we started talking about it that I even thought about it a bit. Because the first time watching it, I'm like, okay, yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. Buy it, totally. Yeah, so, again, so wildly out of character. But you're right. Like, luckily, Miranda has the exact perfect thing to say back to her. And be like, are you fucking serious? Especially like since this will be brought up kind of over and over again, right? After the 3rd season opener, when Charlotte's like, women just want to be rescued. And everyone's like, right? The thing you're never supposed to say, exactly. Charlotte said out loud. Here, the thing you're never supposed to say, Samantha said out loud. Mm. So yeah, it's such a random amount of like the season. I mean, like, that's out of character.
But Miranda is definitely on character.
Yes, Miranda's definitely on character. And I wonder, like, if Miranda was always supposed to be there and, like, Samantha just got plugged in.
Because they do. I feel like they do write her in more as Carrie's best friend than the other two.
Yeah.
Like Carrie is more likely to call her in the middle of the night than... So maybe she was supposed to be the character that was always going to be there.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but Charlotte gets to Neville's farm where he shows her his latest work, which is a series of vagina paintings. Now, are you shocked by his paintings?
No, can we say cunt on the podcast?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm not surprised by the cunts. The cunts are beautiful. They're amazing. I actually wasn't shocked because for a while I used to paint my own vulva, and I absolutely loved it. It was a way to be empowered again. I had gone through like a really bad breakup, and I wasn't feeling sexy, so I had got this idea from Fried Green Tomatoes. Actually,
I love that.
The scene where they get the mirror and they gotta look at themselves. So I decided, hey, I'm gonna take a page from it and I'm just gonna start painting and drawing my vulva. And I end up just like falling in love with it.
Yeah.
Like I used to go to parties and I go to parties where everyone's doing like paper crafts that then you wear and then you like, I don't know, go dancing or something. It sounds weird, but it was a London thing. It was like let's get drunk and craft and then we'll put weird hats on and we'll go out dancing or drinking or whatever. And so I would add it with different like rainbow colors with paper. I would make 3D vulvas and then there'd be pins that I'd pin on. And I absolutely loved it. And then during Me Too movement, I was in London and they had a big march right around like the US embassy. Mm-hmm. And I did a massive sign out of this paper, this rainbow paper with a vulva, and then I just held it over my head. And
I love that.
I loved it so much. I mean, and now just talking about this, I haven't done it in a while, and I think I should. I think
you should. I love that.
Yeah, I think the only problem with Neville's paintings is they were very colorful. You know, I mean, they're the color. They're the color of the models.
Literally colors.
There are literally colors, but I want there to be more like pinks and blues, and I want it to be have a little more pizzazz.
Yeah. I mean, and that's like the funny thing, because they talk about in the book Kiss and Tell, like, oh, they brought in a consultant to like look at the color, right? And like, be really? Like, how is the color theory kind of working with these? And so, yeah, like they're pleasant colors, but, and like, I think that is the huge difference, right? Between the work that like you did and work that like a lot of, feminist artists were doing in like the 60s and 70s, which is when the introducing yourself to your vagina started. Yeah, they were like literal workshops. And Whoopi Goldberg talks about that in her Back to Broadway, where, like you'd be in a room and they turn the lights off and you get a flashlight and a mirror. And they'd be like, Ashley, this is your vagina. Vagina, this is
I love it. I absolutely love it. More people need to do it. I feel like because you think it would be a thing that naturally you just do, but you do talk to people and they go, I don't look down there. Yeah. Like, why?
Yeah.
Well, if you want someone else to look down there, you better look down there too.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and, you know, males are so, like, it's like the first thing they notice, right?
And then they just keep on looking at it.
I have fingers. Oh, look at that.
Another finger.
Exactly. What is that supposed to do? And then they do horrible things with it. But yeah, like women for the longest time did not talk about it. Mm-hmm. Most of the time would be like, here is your sanitary napkin. Go figure out how to do this, right? Like when tampons and all of that came out, it was like, it was a huge deal. And I don't think people realize like tampons have not been around for that long.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's actually, I'm happy that in this episode, I don't know if we talk about it at the end or not, but I am happy that at the very end they do have a conversation about tampons, because you see it in TV now, but I feel like it's not something that you saw in movies or TV or like in the media previously. Absolutely. And it was really nice seeing, you know, you watch Sex and the City now and you think, oh, there's nothing groundbreaking about this. But in the late 90s, it was. Yeah. It was like raunchy TV on HBO that a lot of people didn't even want to watch because it was too much for them.
Yeah, it was too risque.
It was too risque to be talking about, you know, someone asking another person in the bathroom for a tampon. Yeah. And those should be natural conversations to have.
Exactly, yeah. And so, so Charlotte does agree to pose for him. But would you have posed for a man like Neville?
You know, well, I love posing for myself.
Yes.
The only issue I have with this is that he really reminds me of my father's friends. Oh. And so I would not want to pose for anyone in my family, no one that knows my family, no one who's friends with my like parents or So yeah, probably not. Probably not. But I have to say, the way that it's like shot, the way that the scene plays out, it does feel very comfortable and relaxing, especially when his wife comes in. It's like, do you want a drink?
Yeah, I mean, she was necessary.
Yes.
Especially since Charlotte had no idea what she was walking into. And so I think that would be shocking, right? But I also find Charlotte's reaction to it to be really interesting, because she's like, oh, like this is shocking. This is really random. But also, like, she is an art historian.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so this would not be the first vagina painting she's ever looked at. and when you're in art school, like, you accidentally make cunts all the time. Like, there was this one time I was in a 3D art class, and someone like made a lamp shade, basically. But there was like an opening in it. And so I was like, wow, like, I love your central core, like, imagery. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, that's a vagina. They're like, okay, well, now I can't unsee it.
Exactly.
So people unintentionally make vaginas all the time.
I mean, Georgia O'Keeffe.
Exactly.
Those beautiful flower paintings, they always remind me of beautiful vulvas. Yeah.
Absolutely, right? Judy Chicago's dinner table with the vaginas on the plates. Yeah.
Beautiful cunts.
Yes, the most beautiful cunts ever. Well, and I think that's why, like, I would be like, Charlotte, don't pose for a man.
Yeah.
Do it. If you want someone to paint your vagina, go find an amazing feminist artist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because it's also, I guess, late 90s. I'm trying to think that, like, I mean, a lot of artists that were talked about then were men, specifically white men.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like there's more diverse artists that are spoken about now.
Yeah.
And so it might have just been a time and a place thing. But yeah, it would have been great if it was his wife who was doing it.
If it was his wife, yeah.
I know.
Exactly. Or at least, like, his wife who was sketching out the cunts, and then he was doing the colors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. Because it is very invasive, I think.
Yeah, and it is interesting because it would be so different when you're thinking about the actual art of it. And when he's talking about, this is where life comes out of and pleasure too. And those words would sound so different being spoken by a woman or
exactly.
Or even being spoken by a gay man or just but a heterosexual man saying it kind of
in his 60s, exactly, yeah, who is very privileged, very well off. You know, he has a ranch in upstate New York. Yes. Yeah. And so, so like the dynamic is so totally different than it would be, if it were a gay man or a woman, if it was a non-binary person, if it was someone who was not just like a privileged white male. God damn it. So speaking of, this brings us to Samantha and Carrie once again trying to get a table at Balzac. The hostess once again won't let them in, but before they go, Carrie decides to use the restroom, and then Amalita is there, yells, and calls her over. She's with a new man and a group of friends, one of whom tries to feel Carrie up. Amalita and the group invite Carrie to Venice, and Carrie does consider it before turning it down. What would you do?
You know, it's interesting because in this scene, it's different than the previous scene where it was Gilles, where he was just so sweet before. Yeah. And so this scene, the guy just instantly, he instantly grabs her, pulls her over. He has his hand on her lower back, which for me is one of the most sensitive areas that anyone, like when someone I do not know puts their hand, especially a man, puts their hand on my lower back, I can't do it. I instantly don't like the person. It's just like, get off me. Yeah. And he does that with her, basically saying, you are an object. I'm going to pay for you to be in my possession. Yeah. And it's very, I would instantly be like, no way.
Exactly.
Nope. But if it was someone like Gilles, maybe if I don't have to, go to the office or remote work.
Well, and not like the very first interaction.
Yes. Yeah. You need to break it in a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. We need to break you in before you're touching my lower back. I mean, I don't like to be touched in general, so I would instantly just be like, no, why are you touching me? Like, stop touching me. Why? I don't even know you. Like, we don't even really know his accent yet.
Yeah, we don't. And I'm wondering because there's another woman at the table, and you don't really get to know her.
She
But
says
it's like,
nothing.
are you also a wealthy
An
man? Are you
international
also,
credit.
or
Yeah.
are you also going to pay for me? Do I get to pick which one I want to pay for me, or can I have you?
I know. Does it have to be this one? That would be so funny. Okay, but not with you. Thank you.
It's
What
not with
about you? So before we wrap this up, I do want to talk about Amalita because she has some of the best fashion
Yes.
of the entire season, maybe even the entire series. And she has this fabulous accent. She dates these rich men, and she seems to be just like a ton of fun. What are your thoughts of Amalita?
I love her. I love her. Excusey. Just lets in. I love her like Carrie, like yelling in the room. She looks so fabulous.
Yeah.
She's so colorful in the way she dresses. She shows off her curves.
Oh, yeah.
Her makeup, her hair. I mean, just everything is amazing. She also has this big personality. Like I can imagine that you meet her once and you go, wow, that's like you feel like you're her best friend.
Yeah.
And you would follow her around the world. Like
Mhm.
I actually am curious because this is like late 90s before social media.
Yeah.
And I want to know if this was happening now in 2025, what her like Instagram account would look like.
Oh,
It would
right.
just be amazing.
Oh my God, she would be like the
Amazing
OG
places.
influencer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With the style, with traveling, with these like hot men on her arm. I mean, I would follow her.
Who are all
I'd follow
like,
her.
yeah, not even on her arm, taking the photos
Oh,
for
yes,
her.
yes.
Taking the video.
They wouldn't be in any of the pictures.
Exactly.
Maybe like a leg or a really expensive shoe.
Just like part of the credit card. Yeah, just the shoe. Just like when we first meet her with the Argentinian back there, like holding the bags.
Yes.
I love that. Yeah. Well, and you know, I mean, I think that we expect influencers to be like Amalita,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
then they actually like get onto a podcast or something, and you're like, wow, you're pretty.
Or you find out that they're scam artists,
Oh,
but they
yeah.
actually didn't have the money. They just know how to fake it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it even
They know
reminds
how
me
to
of
pull stock photos.
yes. Like it even reminds me of I can't remember which one it was, but it was the woman from I don't watch the TV show, but oh, my mind's blanking out now. Real Housewives, the one from Utah who
Oh, yeah,
completely faked her whole. Like she did not
Yeah.
own that house.
isn't
She
she in
rented
jail
it.
now?
I think she is.
Yeah, she's in prison.
But it happens a lot where you find out that they actually don't have the money that they're showing. They're just renting the clothes or renting the car and
Exactly.
taking all these pictures in one day, and then they just schedule
Yeah.
them out.
Yeah.
So.
Wasn't it like Bow Wow who took the stock photo of the private plane?
The airplane.
And then he's on
The one
Delta.
that's in LA, yeah.
That and then yeah, that one woman, they made the entire Netflix documentary. They did the TV show about her.
Was she the one that had the
She had
like
like the
she's-
fake accent.
she started off at like having pictures in Oxford because she was going to school there, and then she kind of blew up.
Yeah. And then she scammed all of her friends.
scammed everybody.
Yeah. People were like, I paid for her flight to Belgium and she never paid me back because she doesn't actually have any money.
Because she doesn't actually
Yeah.
have any money. Yeah.
I mean,
I
there
might
are
have been a
so many
different girl
stories
that I'm
about
thinking
these.
of because this girl like also did these classes where she's like, if you come to my classes, I'll teach you how to like decorate and have your life like mine. And then people show up and they're given like a ham sandwich and there's no ham in it. It's just like Miracle Whip.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that is most influencers at this point. Because remember like TanaCon or Tana Mojo just completely screwed over all of the people. They're like, there's no events. The Willy Wonka
This is
experience.
not real.
These just happen all the time. And you have like, you know, Logan Paul suing CoffeeZilla
Mhm.
because of his whole Bitcoin nightmare. The Haktua girl scamming all of her
I don't know if
fans
I know that
out of
one.
the Bitcoin. Yeah, because she launched a Bitcoin and then
Because they all think they can launch a Bitcoin.
Well, they all do.
Monopoly money.
They all make millions of dollars of scamming the people.
Are they actually a success?
For them, yeah.
For them?
For the fans, they
get
completely screwed over.
Yeah.
So I mean, it would be nice to actually have a real influencer who
actually does this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that being said, right, Amalita in the book is much more tragic because she kind of finds out like what happened when the men don't show up anymore. She like is basically homeless, like with the daughter. She ends up like coming out of it and being able to take care of her daughter and doing all of that. But there's like a chapter in the book where she's like, Carrie, can you bring over like some pizza? I'm staying in a friend's apartment. Yeah.
And I didn't read the book.
Yeah.
They don't show that in the TV show.
Exactly. Like,
I was like, where's this coming from? I don't remember that part of the story.
I know. I wish they had brought Amalita
So it's more
back.
realistic.
Yeah, exactly. Much more realistic. Much more, you know, the tragic end of what it's like when like you're beautiful and fun and hanging out with rich men and they pay for everything. Like what happens when they stop paying for things?
Is it because she gets older or is it still all in the same like year?
Well, it's because she's like in between men. And yeah, when you don't have a man who's paying for everything.
Exactly. Yeah. But you're also used to a expensive lifestyle.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I wish they had brought Amalita back and we could have like followed her story a little bit more because she is such a dynamic character.
Yes.
And it's so weird to me, one, that like Samantha doesn't know her at all.
Yes. How is that possible?
Exactly. I'm like, Samantha and Amalita would be either like rivals.
Yes.
Or they would like absolutely just like love each other.
Or they would trade the men.
Exactly. Yeah. Samantha would be like, I'm done with him. He's great though. You should travel the world with him because I'm not going anywhere because I have
that guy?
real job.
What about that guy you're with?
Exactly.
Bring him over here.
Yeah. So that does bring us to the women exploring Charlotte's exhibit of Neville's newest paintings. They go on a little treasure hunt to find out which painting is the one that Charlotte posed for. But what do you think about what each of the women is wearing in this scene?
It's such a hard question to answer because I'm not even looking at their clothes.
You're looking at the vaginas.
I'm looking at the vaginas. I'm looking at the cunts. Like, I'm actually looking to be like, which one would be Charlotte's? I'm on a hunt with them. Like, they do it really well, the scene. And also, it's a bit low light, too. I do remember Miranda's power suit. Like, they, from the beginning, I feel like, from season 1, Miranda is Miranda. They put her in the power suit. This is the first time she's in a power suit, right?
No, the first time we meet her, she's in a power suit.
Oh, she is, right? Yeah. And so I remember when I watched this when I was younger. Yeah. A very long time ago. I'm not going to say how many years ago because you know how old I am, but it was a very long time ago. And I remember thinking like, oh, I don't like the way Miranda dresses or her hair. I don't like the way they styled her. Yeah. Now I love her. I love the way they dress her. I love her, like her hair and her makeup. And maybe it's because, I don't know, I'm older or I don't know what it is. Maybe
it's because we know she's queer now.
Oh, yeah, that's true. She fits the character more.
For as much as I don't like And Just Like That, and I can barely get through any episodes past the first season.
It's hard.
I at least appreciate that they let Miranda come out. Finally. After 30 years, they finally let Miranda come out of the fucking closet.
Which they do say a lot of women, like women, it takes longer sometimes to be able to come out. So it does fit with society.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and the heteronormalization, all right, of just women's lives. Like you are supposed to be a mother. You're supposed to be a wife. So you have to be straight. And with men, it's just like, well, stick your dick anywhere. No one really cares.
Until you die.
Exactly.
Your babies work. Those little things work until you die. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. So I do love Miranda's. I do appreciate Miranda's power suit more and more. I appreciate that she styled it because she has that like gorgeous necklace underneath. I mean, it's still, I am not a fan of a sparkly shirt underneath blazer. I think that's a very 90s choice.
Yes, it is.
And then Samantha has the oddest fashion, I think, this season, because she's either like super buttoned up, like she is in this scene, or she's barely wearing anything.
Yes.
It's like either or in this season. Again, I think they're just like plugging Samantha in, being like, oh shit, she's supposed to be in that scene. So let's give her something.
Is she wearing a black dress? Is that right?
She's wearing, so that is at Balzac at the end.
Oh, okay.
But she's in like a cream colored dress. That's a little bit power suity.
Okay.
I love Samantha's power suits. Her fucking fuchsia one.
Oh yes, the fuchsia one. It's amazing.
Oh, so good.
And they know it's amazing because I'm pretty sure it has a couple of scenes. It's not just a one-time thing.
Yeah. And then Charlotte looks really nice in just her Narciso Rodriguez dress. Very proper for an opening night. I think Charlotte. It just is amazing to me that Charlotte is like an art dealer, like art historian. Just, like,
I even forgot. By like the last season, I even forgot that she was like an art curator in the first season. And rewatching it now, I'm like, it's not who you expect to have that job. But bravo for putting someone in it that you don't expect to have that job.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I guess thinking about the people who I went to school with for art history and the kind of people who actually like do the non-art side, Charlotte does fit the bill a little bit, but then you like see her like completely like buttoned up and just like and you're like, girl, loosen up. This is art.
yeah, this is art. This is your cunt.
Yes, your fucking cunt is on display for everyone to see, and you're like, no, I don't have one.
That's not me. Oh, it is.
And then Carrie is wearing the fabulous kimono.
Oh, yes. That's so beautiful. So beautiful. Yes, I forgot about that. That really stands out, actually.
Oh, absolutely.
That should be more memorable in my head. But yeah, I was searching.
Well, and like, I think that we get more memorable scenes with it on until she loses it to the alcoholic.
Oh, I don't remember that.
The alcoholic who it's the one where Charlotte gets fallen asleep on.
Oh yes.
And so they take the tantric sex class.
Oh yes. Okay.
And he's like, oh my God, Carrie, you're fucking amazing. And so he becomes like addicted to her. And then she's like, we shouldn't spend the night together. And then he goes to drink. And then she throws out the kimono because he strips down in the street.
Yes. I forgot about that.
And that's the last time we see it.
That's
which is so sad.
I do know multiple women who have had men fall asleep on them. And they're like, I'm really good in bed. But they all
maybe
said
you were too good.
They all said that it was like a drunken night.
Oh, absolutely.
So maybe that's why. But
yeah. Like, was he inside?
I think so.
When it happened?
I think so, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, because I'd be like, okay, whiskey dick. Sure, right? It happens all the time. Just twist it, make a point, stick it in. But actually, like, falling asleep while you're hard.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not really sure how. I never got the logistics of it.
Exactly.
But all I know is like, wait,
you're like at the bar and you're like, okay, get on the table, show me what happens.
Exactly. I'll be him, you be you, okay?
Yeah. I'll be you be him. Tell me what happened. But yeah, so I love the kimono. I love being able to see the kimono and being like, oh my God, it's the kimono. And I just love, I love this scene because upon rewatch, you can see that it's still the 25th anniversary. They just like took down the actual art that was in there and put up the display. But the vinyl was still on the wall.
I'm gonna have to look for that now.
Well, I mean, I think like the original ratio, you couldn't see it. But now that they like restored it and it's widescreen, then you're like, that says 25th anniversary still. And Charlotte's middle part is weirding me out.
I strangely think it kind of works with the glasses when she has those tiny little glasses. Because she does have the middle part too earlier when she meets him, Neville in her gallery. She has the middle part with the glasses and the little black suit on with a clipboard.
Yes.
And I think for somehow it works. But you're right. I don't think that makes a comeback in future seasons at all.
Not in future seasons.
No.
We'll see it again in future season 1 episodes. But it's so weird to me. I think
It's a youthful look.
Well, yeah, it's definitely like I'm in my 30s and I'm not quite sure what my haircut should be yet. So I'm gonna do a middle part and see if that works. But it's also difficult because Kristen David has so much hair.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
And so it gets really bulky here when you do the middle part. Like at least when you have the side, you can be like, oh, and then you can like style it a little bit
And the beautiful wave.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Carrie's hair is up. And yeah, Miranda, oh God, and Miranda's hair is like weirdly long.
It is, but it's kind of long on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like she has like the sideburns going. I love
like
it.
you said, now in the future, knowing that she comes out as a lesbian, it goes, oh, that works. That works.
Exactly. I know. She should have just been a lesbian the whole time.
Oh.
I don't buy.
Again, I'm like, is it because it was the late 90s and they couldn't put a lesbian on TV? Like a lesbian couldn't have a main role? I feel like that must be it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. Has she ever said if the rest of the cast knew by that point? Like on
Cynthia
set?
Nixon didn't even know.
Oh, she didn't come out until later?
Yeah, she didn't come out until, I think, either when the show was wrapped up or like a little bit before it actually like did end. Because she was married to a man, I think, by the time that she started the series.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Cynthia Nixon wasn't even out. So why would Miranda be out?
Why would Miranda be? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fitting.
So before we wrap up this episode, what are your final thoughts about the power of female sex?
I love this episode because at first glance, you just think it's just fun. Mm-hmm. They're talking about some interesting topics, some serious topics, but it's just fun. And at the end of the day, they're all good friends and they hug each other and over. But
at the end of the day.
At the end of the day. After when you're sitting in that little table in the hotel, eating the eggs at the end of that day. But I do love this episode because now talking about it, it's like there are so many little things here. Like we didn't even talk about Skipper, and that's a whole nother topic of like, I mean, that we don't even need to get into, I guess. But I mean, that there's so many like interesting points here that really highlight the 90s, the late 90s, and how people were thinking. And like I said before, this is how people were thinking in New York or in the city. This isn't how the whole country was thinking. Yeah. And so now looking back at it, it's like, it doesn't even seem like they're doing anything shocking or new.
As much as it was like in the 90s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because now that we've had Sex in the City and we can go back and be like, oh, that is really the blueprint for Lipstick Jungle, which was based on another Candace Bushnell book, Girls.
Oh, yeah.
This is the sex life of college girls, Gossip Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Like all these shows that did do much more to explore even more aspects of female sexuality. This is like even just the power of female sex as an episode title.
Yes.
It's like the what? The power of who? Are we allowed to say this out loud?
Are we allowed to say this? Because it was pretty risque in the late 90s having that as a title.
Yeah.
And only HBO would have something like that. No other channel would.
Exactly. Yeah. That's so funny that you bring up Skipper though. Because there are times when I forget that like this is kind of the last episode where he and Miranda are technically in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But then like, are they? We didn't spend enough time with Skipper and Miranda's relationship to actually understand what was going on there. All that we know is that she's relatively verbally abusive toward him.
Yeah.
And she is...
And she just wants to fuck him.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, which does actually work into the power of sex because in their relationship in this episode, she's the one with the power.
Absolutely.
She's the one that's like, we're having sex. We're not cuddling.
Yeah.
We're not sleeping over each other's house. This is not a relationship. he's the one that's like groveling at her feet, like, please, will you love me? Will you, like, you give me attention? Will you do anything? And
anything?
It's kind of like traditionally reversed,
Exactly.
which is interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's why it is so perfect that Miranda has such a visceral reaction to what Samantha says in the hotel room, for sure. Especially since she's like, I am giving and receiving in my relationship,
Yes.
whatever it is, with a 20-something year old who Carrie is randomly friends with. Never find out why.
No,
They're
you never
actually
find out
friends.
why. You don't even find out where they met. Was it a job? I don't think they even say. I assume it was a job.
Because he's like a tech nerd.
But I love this scene too with him where he knocks on her door. Carrie's getting ready.
Yes.
She's changing. She opens the door and he's like, I just need to talk to you about Miranda. And then he sits on her bed while she's taking off her clothes and changing. And she's super comfortable with him. So it shows that they obviously have this really close relationship for her to be able to do it. Because you don't see her do that with any other men besides men that she sleeps with, really.
Yeah.
Maybe Stanford. I don't even know if she does it with Stanford in future episodes. But she does do it with Skipper. And so it is weird when all of a sudden Skipper's just no lot, like they just wrote him out. Like, we don't need him anymore. It's kind of boring.
Exactly. Yeah. Because he shows up a couple of more times during this season, and then one more time in season 2. But yeah, you're like, he's such good friends with Carrie, and he's just gone.
Just gone, you know?
He is out of her life. We never hear from him again. They never even bring him up, I don't think.
No, they don't talk about him, or they don't even joke about, like, Miranda, remember when you were fucking Skipper?
Yeah, remember when you were verbally abusive toward your sexual partner?
Yeah, remember that? That? It was uncomfortable for all of us.
Exactly. And I do also wonder, like, was Miranda ever actually sexually attracted to him?
Or did she just want to have sex?
Exactly. He was there.
Because, I mean, we've all either been there or known those people. Yeah. And it's, you just need what you need. And he's there and he's willing to give it to you.
Yeah.
So, and who knows, maybe there is a weird, I wouldn't say attraction, but maybe there is a weird sexual thing of like knowing that you can just show up with at this guy's place, use him for sex, and then walk out. Which, like you said, it's interesting then when Miranda has these feelings and opinions that are opposite when it comes to men doing that to women. So, and she is verbally abusive to him. I'm surprised Carrie doesn't say anything, because I feel like if that was my friend, I'd be like, hey, can you like chill out?
I mean, I 100% being verbally abusive to men.
Like, you understand. You're like, I've been there.
I think it needs to happen more often. But also, yeah, the number of times that I've had like makeout sessions with different guys, and I'm like, oh shit, is this like a scissors situation because we're both bottoms? Why are we still making out? But then you're like, okay, well, we're here, so might as well just keep making out.
Why not?
Yeah, and so I do always wonder, like, was Miranda ever actually sexually attracted to him?
Who knows? We don't know. We don't know.
Because we only see them in bed together once.
Well, yeah, that's true. Because we don't actually know how it was when they first met. Because we've all been with those people where the first time you meet, it's dynamite. It's amazing. Well, and then you meet up with them afterwards, and it's like, oh, why did I think that?
Well, we did see them when they first met in the first episode.
Oh, it does show it.
Yeah. Because he's like trying to be sweet, and she's like, no, fuck you.
So she's always been an asshole to him.
She's always been an asshole to him. But she does have kind of, I mean, I feel like they redid it with Steve later on.
Steve does stand up for himself more, though.
Absolutely.
And maybe it is because I feel like Miranda is such a opinionated, loud. She wears the pants in the relationship, kind of. And so maybe they feel like they have to pair her with a dude until she's not paired with a dude who is submissive. Because that's the only way it would work.
Absolutely. That's why I've always been like, I'm a Miranda. And then I became a Carrie. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Did you have a good time?
Oh, of course. I always have a good time.
I know. Thank you for joining me again for the second time.
Oh, yes.
And thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Say in the City. I'll be here every week-ish, okay, unless this happens again, discussing my favorite show. If you did enjoy yourself, leave a comment telling me if you would accept $1,000 for a wonderful date night. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and go check out my breakdowns on YouTube at Say in the City. Tune in next week for, oh God, what is next week? Oh, Secret Sex. Tune in next week for Secret Sex. Thank you. Bye.